One Team Media.
We showed you what the GOAT was last year when we beat y'all 50-7.
Let's go! One team!
Relax, big boy.
One team, one podcast. One team, one podcast.
Team One Podcast?
One Team One Podcast?
Yeah, they did a good job.
Really good job.
Yeah. Why is he so fat?
One team, one podcast. One team, one podcast. One team, one podcast.
One
Team, one podcast.
All right, guys, welcome back to One Team One Podcast. Checking our audio levels because everything went on the fucking fritz again. Right as we come on.
Please let us know.
Please let us know in the chat because I can't hear a thing.
Right.
They're telling me, intern Jude's telling me everything's good. Now he's texting us currently. I can see
we don't trust
furiously
intern
texting.
Jude.
Can't trust them at all. All right, big show tonight. We have Ben Mintz coming on podcast.
How you been?
The last time he was here, he was literally here in the bedroom when he got the call for Barstool probably about a month later, I think. So,
oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so we already got. I mean, people are already just flowing through with the chats. We're gonna get to those in just a second. Before we get to Ben Mintz, we will. We have a few sponsors, and Jude, direct me. I think Bank of England Mortgage, Patrick Michelson. He was actually texting. Oh, look, we have it on a whiteboard.
Oh, yeah, we're using the whiteboard.
Thinking. Bank of England Mortgage, Patrick Michelson. I was actually texting with him earlier today. We were talking about the Pat Casey stuff. We were also talking about the Kevin O'Sullivan stuff yesterday. So Patrick's a huge LSU baseball fan. We're going to get Patrick on the show pretty soon here too. And we need to go play. You didn't like that drink, huh? Oh, that was terrible. You just pulled something out of the fridge. I don't even know what it was.
Oh, it said it was a pineapple cocktail.
I don't know how long it's been there either.
Fucking terrible.
Also, we're going to go play golf with Patrick one day. He lives on the Bluff, so we'll go play golf with Patrick. Next, we have Lucas Ragusa at River City's Total Maintenance. Volume is softer than Eric Gilbert here on YouTube. Wow, that was something else. All right, we're punching it up here. I have no idea if that's going to make a difference. Y'all got to tell us.
We still can't hear it.
Oh, I'm getting something.
Are you?
I'm hearing a little bit.
Are you getting this?
Yes. So hopefully that's working. Y'all tell us in the chat. So we just came back from vacation, and I think all the levels got messed up. So anyway.
Clearly.
Yeah, Lucas Ragusa, River City's Total Maintenance. Guys, total maintenance means everything, not just AC work. River City's obviously is known for AC work here in Baton Rouge, but in New Orleans, they actually do electrical, plumbing, all kinds of stuff. So reach out to those guys about any kind of AC needs in New Orleans and also the North Shore. Very, very big on the North Shore, Covington, Mandeville area. Lucas is a big supporter of the podcast. All right, so next we got who we got, Jude? Who we got? Relief Pools, Ben Landry. Give Ben a call. He's super busy. They are, and they got backed up a little bit with the rain, but they're pouring pools like crazy right now. He does gunite pools all the time. So reach out to Ben. Great guy, and he's going to get it done. He knows that industry pretty well to where he knows these guys and he knows how to deal with these subs. That's really what you need out of a pool company. But get him right now because he can actually get you set up for the summer if you call him right now. All right, we also have Fred's. We're going to talk about Fred's for a second. They have a big, before we get Ben Money Mintz on, they have we collaborated on a shirt design with Fred's, and you can go to Fred's Instagram page. They have it all right there on their Instagram. Obviously, it's got the moose in the front, but it's also got our design in the back, which is "Bitch, I'm from Louisiana."
Right.
And it's got our logo on the sleeve. So we've kind of collaborated on a shirt. They're going to give out 150 shirts to the first people that come into Fred's on Saturday for the baseball game. So the regional starts at 6, and I'm not sure exactly what time they open.
Wait,
but
first, how many people?
150.
Wow,
they're going to give out 150 shirts.
That's a lot of shirts.
It's a lot of shirts, I know. So Fred's is helping us out with that.
Really
we
cool
appreciate those
too.
guys. Fred's gave us a whole bunch of shit to take to the beach too, and we still got a whole bunch of it too. So we're going to be sporting some Fred stuff. I got a Fred shirt on right now.
Yeah, you sure do.
All right, guys, let's kind of get into it. A lot of news today, and we're going to have Ben Mintz joining us at 6:15, so probably in just a few minutes. But a lot of news with Pat Casey came out today. So yesterday was Kevin O'Sullivan Day, National Kevin O'Sullivan Day.
Yeah.
Today's National Pat Casey Day. There feels like it's a new thing every day with LSU baseball right now, and nobody's even talking a lot about the regionals this weekend, which is nuts. I mean, this is LSU baseball. We should be talking about.
Yeah, I mean,
we're in the regionals.
God, did you stay up to watch the Monday game?
Now I did doze off because it was 2 nights in a row.
Right.
Like that's hard for me.
Yeah.
Right now, I have to get up for work and all that kind of stuff. But
first one was tough because it was a slow game.
Yeah, but I dozed off.
The second
a bit.
one though, it was hard to stay asleep. It was hard to go to sleep after that game.
Yes. So we're gonna have Ben Mintz join us. I want to hear what he has to say about Pat Casey also, but also the regionals because I know Ben Mintz has been like what do you call him? College baseball, like national guy.
He's
for
like
the past.
He's basically Barstool's like college baseball.
Yeah,
at this point.
he wanted to pump it up and make it a big deal, and people nationally are starting to take notice of college, which is, I mean, he's got to be ecstatic about his role over there right now. So I want to talk to him about that. I want to talk to him about obviously LSU Tennessee because I feel like it's going to be a very, very heated 3 days, 2 days, 2 to 3 days, we'll say. I don't know LSU's chances in it. I know we're hot right now. I always get I thought Oregon could be had a little bit because of their pitching, especially when you got to like day 2, day 3.
Right.
But like I knew we didn't have a shot against the Gonzaga guy. Like I was looking at the Gonzaga guy's numbers, and I just had a feeling like, okay, we just struggle against these top
Right,
line
I mean,
pitchers.
couldn't have been less surprised that we were shut out in that game.
Absolutely. So we're not going to keep this guy on hold very long. I mean, he's the resident superstar of Baton Rouge right now, with his time at 104.5. But we're going to bring Ben Mintz on. Mintzy, how you living out there, brother? You're in New York. You're at Barstool currently talking to us.
Oh, he can't hear us.
Oh, you can't hear us?
He's setting up his audio still.
Okay, still setting up his audio
Maybe pull him off,
frantically.
put him back in.
Yeah,
We'll pull him back in a second.
we'll get him back in just a second. We just cut Ben Mintz off.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I want to talk to him about is LSU's chances, and yeah, Garrett's in there in the chat saying I don't like the chances. I don't necessarily either. I'm just wanting to see a good showing. And if you get to that point where you have a good showing, I feel like anything can happen.
Right.
Can you squeak out a win? I mean, we had a couple of close games against Tennessee the first time. I know we got swept, but there were close games. We didn't get like
2 walk-offs.
Right. We didn't get they didn't wipe the floor with us or anything. I think Ben's having a little trouble. Not sure if he can hear us or not, but we'll have him join us in just a second. Jude is having a fit over there. I can see him.
Jude, yeah, he's sweating.
Jude, the intern's sweating right now.
Sweating.
He's like, "Oh my God, this connection's not good, is it?"
Maybe he can't hear us because our mics suck.
Might be that. Might be our mics. I don't really know what's happening with that. But anyway, so we had a lot of
There's still 20 people watching. So.
Yeah, we had a lot of info about Kevin O'Sullivan, and we can kind of talk about that while we're waiting on Mintzy.
Yeah.
So the Kevin O'Sullivan news was what we had heard before was Woodward has found his guy in Kevin O'Sullivan.
Right.
And that's who he's pinpointing. I'm pretty sure he was waiting till the end of Kevin O'Sullivan's Florida season.
Sure.
And I'm sure they had some back and forth talk before that. All signs sounded like Kevin O'Sullivan was ready to bolt out of Florida. And wasn't happy there. Things weren't going great. There was a lot of drama, obviously, that people know about in Florida right now. That the rumors that it kind of came out.
Yeah.
But then yesterday we had heard that a decision was made to cancel Kevin O'Sullivan basically out of the mix.
Sure.
And that it came from I think I worded it incorrectly on Twitter. I said board of supervisors, whereas it was really a guy in the board of supervisors that everybody would know his name if I said it, and I'm just not going to say it.
Right.
But he put the kibosh on the whole thing.
Right.
I got Ben Mintz here. Let me see if he can hear us right. Ben, you there, buddy? Hey, can you hear us, Ben? Ben, you're live.
Trying to hear y'all.
Yeah, can you hear us? I can hear
I
you.
can now. I can hear you now.
Okay, good.
We got you.
Good.
I think it's the Barstool Wi-Fi that's just awful.
It's some days it is bad. It's these old New York buildings, I guess.
We appreciate you joining us, man. The last time you were here, you were physically in the room. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah. No, I remember coming by when I was working for ESPN 104.5, ESPN Baton Rouge. Man, I mean, that really wasn't that long ago, to be honest. It was the beginning of football. It was the beginning of football season in September, if I remember correctly. And even though it wasn't very long ago, it feels like a lot's changed since. Glad to come on, though. Super excited about this LSU run to Super Regionals with the Maneri story. I mean, I stayed up watching that whole regional in Eugene. I actually made a good bit of money on it, too. I had LSU at 2-1 to win the regional. I had them plus 160 Monday night, and I had an LSU and Arkansas parlay. I mean, I wasn't really that surprised, and I'm going to go ahead and say I think they got a lot better chance this weekend against Tennessee than the odds makers say. Right now, LSU at plus 375. I mean, I remember that first series there. LSU could have easily won 2 of the 3 games. All kinds of weird stuff happened, including the suspension of Weather and all the bad blood between Maneri and LSU and the fans and stuff. I think people are really counting LSU out more than they should be. I mean, I think that there's a lot of value there in that plus 375 price.
We just said that before you came on that it feels like there was a lot of weird stuff that happened the last time we were there, and we didn't get just smoked by Tennessee. Obviously, we got swept, but weird things can happen in this regional, especially if it's if you get a good pitching or a decent pitching performance out of Marceau and Hilliard 1 and 2. I feel like you have a shot to kind of win some of these games. but you got to hit the ball. I think LSU's struggle this whole year is just hitting the ball.
Well, the problem, it's just the bottom of the line because they got unbelievable talent at the top of that lineup. At the bottom of the lineup, there's just no depth. And so it's all on Trey Morgan and Dugas and Dylan Cruz. And those guys are all studs that really have to kind of carry it. We saw them do that in Eugene.
Right. Well, okay, so speaking of Oregon, the big news today came out. Kendall Rogers had reported that it looks like Pat Casey is number one on LSU's list for a coaching search. The retired Oregon State head coach, Pat Casey, 62 years old.
Right.
What are your initial thoughts on something like that, to hear that? And if it were to come to fruition, we already said earlier today, I think TigerDroppings.com is just going to spontaneously combust over a hiring like that. So what are your thoughts just from a granular?
I mean, I don't see the big, why are people going to combust? I mean, he won multiple national championships at freaking Oregon State. You know, that seems like an unbelievable accomplishment to be able to pull that kind of success in Corvallis, Oregon. You know how random of a place that is? And it's not like they have a big athletic budget. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I don't. I mean, he's shown he can succeed at the highest level. They've had unbelievable teams year in, year out. I mean, I know he's older, but I don't really see the problem here. Why are people bitching about this?
So
I'm completely with you on that.
Well, so yeah, they're going to immediately bitch about the 62 years old. He's already retired. He's 3 years retired. But also, there's the Luke I think it's Heimlich.
Yeah, I knew that.
There's that too. That a lot of people are like, wait a second, you're not going to hire a guy like Kevin O'Sullivan because of maybe baggage that he had in his past, but you're going to hire somebody like this who played him in a couple of years. I don't know if there's obviously different situations, but yeah, there's I don't know. There's only there's only one name that I think every LSU fan would just get on board with, and that is Tony Vitello. And I don't think that's happening. So
I just can't see when you look at Tennessee. The thing is you could get him if they're fan, but they've got Danny White at AD, and their fans. I mean, they have such a diehard fan base, and they have money. And I mean, I would be shocked if they don't expand Lindsey Nelson and pay him. I mean, I don't know. They've got such a crazy fan base. I just can't see them letting him go because they'll be able to match anything. I mean, I'm sure they could pay him $1.5 million or $2 million if they had to.
Well, yeah, we already heard from somebody that kind of knows Vitello, 1.5, and then they've committed to $30 million in upgrades for Tennessee, and I think that's enough right there. I saw him last weekend jumping up into the stands and high fiving people. I think he's all in over there, and I think Tennessee as a fan base has been. And I know you know Big T. Jack, my intern over here, pissed Big T off. By the way, I think he hurt his feelings a little bit on Twitter, a little bit, and he didn't want to come on with us. But
completely by mistake.
Yes, by mistake. He didn't know who you were even talking to. But anyway, I feel like that he's in a place that the fans in Tennessee are craving for something like him and craving for. Energetic, winning, things like that. I know football has been down for so long. Is that the kind of vibe you're getting out of Tennessee? And
oh, yeah. No, I think Tennessee's kind of like one of these sleeping giant college baseball programs because they've been struggling in football and they've got such a passionate and diehard fan base. Now, I think this could become I could see Tennessee becoming a huge baseball school, kind of joining some of these other SEC schools that we've seen the last few years. Obviously Mississippi State and LSU have been for a while, but Arkansas and Ole Miss and a lot of these programs getting diehard baseball. I would be surprised if Tennessee in the next one.
Are you going anywhere for a regional coming up here?
Not for Super. I'm going to Omaha to cover the College World Series. I think I'm going the whole time. It sounded like we got a ton of momentum up here at this college baseball right now. Everybody's talking about it in the office. Dave and Big Cat are tweeting about it. I mean, Dave bet $10K on the Arkansas to win it all. It really is kind of becoming something up here. And so I'm on the moon about it because, I've literally built it with my bare hands the last few months. I know Big T certainly helped some too, so I do want to mention him. But it's exciting times here, man. And then when you look at the future, my vision for Barstool and college baseball, it's all about the gambling. Yeah. And with the Barstool Sports book and, coming to Louisiana hopefully by next year, and we'll be able to bet on be able to have college baseball lines on your phones in Louisiana. And I'm hoping the mobile app will be passing in Mississippi soon. There's also 10 pin properties between Louisiana and Mississippi. My vision is this exploding in the South. And I think we're really setting the foundation for it right now.
No, that's awesome, and I know that was when you came on because you were such a big college baseball fan, and there's
I just-
nobody like that at Barstool, right?
Well, I just saw it when you look at Barstool, everybody kind of has their own lanes and specialties. And I saw this college baseball wide open, and they want me to build the South and Southeast. I was like, shoot, this is exactly what I want to do. And we got Barstool and Omaha shirts out now that are doing well. They're selling pretty good, and I appreciate people that are supporting it. But the big thing, the future of it's to being able to find the games, because man, I'm getting so many messages from around the country. People messaging me like, I had no idea that these games were this electric. And one guy had sent me a message. He didn't even know Dallas Baptist was a college, and he bet on them because of my pick. And then they hit this crazy grand slam against Oregon State in the seventh. He said he was dancing around his living room, and that's exactly what I'm going for, is just the excitement of it to pull new fans into the game. So it's great.
That's fantastic. And I saw, I think it was, I don't know if it was Big Cat or if it was Dave that posted the Arkansas fan base, like, look at this crowd. Like,
yeah, they both did, and it was funny because Dave on the rundown a month or two ago said, "Oh yeah, Ben posted about these college baseball games. I'm sure all 8 people that watch them care and appreciate it." And so I retweeted it, Dave, and I said, "Looks like a lot more than 8 people in that crowd in Arkansas, And and so I think it's really, really building, and I'm just excited to see where it goes. I feel like, this year is really all about setting the foundation for it. And when we get if we get that app, it's coming to Louisiana for sure. If we get it through in Mississippi, I mean, everybody's going to bet on LSU and Ole Miss and State, and it's going to be a huge thing.
Well, and speaking of betting, you're on fire right now. I looked at the numbers earlier today. You're kicking everybody's ass on like who you're up against, but just in general, I think you have a pulse of some of the college baseball right now.
Yeah, well, I've been focused so hard on college baseball the last couple of months that I think I know these teams a lot better than most people do. I'm not going to sit here and say I know everything about, especially the West Coast teams. I don't know as much about Stanford or Arizona or Oregon as the other ones. But when it comes to the SEC teams and the Texas teams, and I'm on all this, and I think I'm doing a good job. And the LSU thing, man, I've just been seeing this forever. The Maneri teams always peak in the postseason. And when I saw they got sent to Oregon, who I knew was not that strong and not a traditional baseball power, I can't say that I'm even remotely surprised. I was all over that happening in Eugene. And I think you look at Tennessee, I mean, I know they're a damn good team, but they're kind of like a deeper team. They do have a good closer in Hundley, but they don't, they've got 3 good starters, but man, they don't have an ace. I mean, Marceau is going to be the better pitcher on Friday night. And I mean, I think they can be beat. And when you look at a team that they've never, they're having a super regional on their home field, this is uncharted territory for them. It's a whole new thing. There's a lot of pressure too on them. I've seen, like I said, I've seen bigger shocks than LSU going in here and making this thing happen.
So you're taking the plus 375.
Yeah, I'm going to take the plus 375. I'm not going to sit here and tell you LSU's going to win. I think it could go either way, and I think at plus 375, the value is just out of control. Like I think LSU should be like plus 220 or plus 200, And so at 375, it's a no-brainer, and especially if Marceau goes and gets a win Friday, it puts a lot of pressure on him.
Well, it's Saturday, so that's even.
I'm sorry, it's Saturday through Monday. Ole Miss is Friday through Sunday.
That's what we were worried about, was maybe getting a Friday, because he's thrown 140 pitches last weekend. He needs all the rest he can probably get. I think really our whole staff did. So that one extra day is just even better for us. But all right, so other regionals that I wanted to talk to you about. To me, the next best regional is going to be Notre Dame going to Mississippi.
Oh, I've been talking a lot about this too. Nobody's giving this Notre Dame team near the respect they deserve. This is a serious, serious bunch. You win 22 games in the ACC, easy win in the regular season. That's not a joke, man. The ACC is a good baseball conference. And they've got a candidate for Coach of the Year. They've got a couple of really good starting pitchers. They got Nico Kavassis, the Greek slugging first baseman, and they outscored the teams in their damn regional 50-5 last weekend. I mean, you don't see that in Little League.
Right.
10-0, 26-3, and 14-2. They should be a top 8 national seed, in my opinion. And when you look at Mississippi State, I mean, they certainly have an unbelievable home field advantage. But all year, they've kind of like beaten bad teams and kind of struggled against good ones. And I like Notre Dame in this regional. I think it's the super. I think Notre Dame guys get it done.
Man, if they go into Duty Noble, I swear that'll be classic. I'll text Rivs for sure and give her a whole bunch of shit for that if they go into the Duty Noble and pull it off in front of 13,000, 15,000 maybe.
Oh yeah, no, it's going to be rowdy. But I'm telling you, man, this Notre Dame team, what's going on? Just because they're not a traditional power and they're in the North, people aren't taking them serious. But
Right.
I mean, you run through the ACC like that. I mean, you look at NC State, Virginia, Florida State, Miami. That's not a joke league by any stretch, with imagination. North Carolina, it's a tough league. So I just feel like people are really, really underestimating them right now.
So, all right. So the talk of the town today has been less of the LSU Tennessee regional, and it's been more about the coaching search, which is nuts to me, but it is what it is. We got a question for you. How big of a coaching candidate is Cliff Godwin for LSU? So Cliff Godwin, I think, has done a fantastic job at ECU, and obviously coached under Maneri. And I think one of the things that we posed earlier was, would you rather Pat Casey or would you rather Cliff Godwin? Because I can't imagine Cliff Godwin saying no to LSU if they asked him.
I mean, I think I'd rather. I mean, I like Godwin a lot too. But I mean, talk about Casey's won 2 national championships at Oregon State. Hell yeah, I'd rather have him.
Okay.
I get you want the young up and comer, but I mean, I don't know. Just being able to winning national titles at Oregon State just doesn't strike me as something that would be very easy. So I've got a lot of respect for him.
Yeah, I think you're going to be in the minority in Baton Rouge, but I like I like it because you're not a homer here, so there's a lot of homers here that will say some things, including myself, that I think you're out of a different perspective there. So, and I've heard that from somebody else too. Like you can't discount the national championship.
I mean, yeah.
And there's super talent. I mean, all this kind of talent.
That team, the team in 17, y'all came back and beat twice to play Florida in the title game. It was a super good team. Y'all obviously went up there in 18, lost that regional to. I don't know, man. I think y'all be lucky to get him. To be real honest, I guess I get that he's older, but I think this would be great for LSU. I know it's different. He's a West Coast guy, but you've got such a strong sell at LSU. I just don't see how he'd have trouble recruiting. He's won multiple national championships, and LSU baseball is one of the biggest brand name programs. So I think he should be able to recruit well too, even with not being from the South. So that's kind of my thoughts.
Right. The team in 2017, if I remember right, they lost 6 games all year.
Yep. we beat them that year to get
yeah,
the championship.
That was the team we had to beat to
right.
get to.
And then they won the championship the next year.
Right, I know. All right, so other regionals that you got your eye on, Mintzy. I know you're got the pulse of everything. So what else should we be looking for?
I mean, this Ole Miss Arizona one. We're the only regional west of the Central Time Zone. So this is the freaks come out at night regional, kind of like what y'all just dealt with in Eugene. And so it's a 9 Eastern start Friday, 10 Eastern Saturday, and 9 Sunday. And man, these games are going to get freaking wild. Arizona's got a top 2 to 3 offense in the country playing out that desert air. And you look at Ole Miss right now. I mean, Doug Nikhazy's a phenomenal ace, but the path to Ole Miss is clear. You win the Doug Nikhazy game, which I think is going to be Saturday game 2, and you outslug them 15-12 in one of the other 2 games. That's pretty much the path here because these games are going to get nuts. Kind of like this, you look at the Southern Miss Ole Miss games are 10-7 and 12-9 Sunday and Monday. I think that is very much in play again here. Arizona's a slight favorite. I mean, who knows, man? I'm not going to sit here and come there and say that I know Ole Miss is going there to win, but love having the opportunity. And with me going to Omaha, covering it for Barstool for the first time, if Ole Miss makes it, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know how good this would be for business. And also, same for LSU. LSU making it would just be unbelievable too.
I know. You would have a ton of support.
Oh, it'd be unreal, the content we get. So, I mean, I'm pulling very hard for Ole Miss. It's just LSU and Ole Miss both dealing with such a similar thing. You both lost first-round pick aces, and you're still here. LSU losing Jaden Hill and Ole Miss losing Gunnar Hoglund. I mean, imagine how much better you'd feel about these 2 week hits if those guys are there. But big props to both teams for getting this far and losing guys that are that talented on the front of their rotation.
Well, speaking of Ole Miss, Bianco has been a hot name here, obviously, because of the coaching search. What are your thoughts on, like, if we were to call a Mike Bianco, do you think he would actually entertain that, or is he set in Oxford? Because I've heard from people that are around there that that guy is just set over there.
Man, I think he'd entertain it because I mean his family's all grown now, and all his guys, his brother, his sons are in college, one at Louisville, and obviously one at LSU. He's been there 21 years, and he has such a good relationship with Skip Bertman and goes all the way back with him. I think this it would seem like a point if he. I mean, I understand how set he is in Oxford, but I think he'd consider it. I mean, when you look at the tradition and history of LSU, and so I think it's definitely in play. The thing that's interesting to me is if Bianco did go to LSU, I actually think Ole Miss would hire Cliff Godwin because he was an assistant under Bianco at Ole Miss too. I could just see that just being a very natural thing as a possibility. But, if LSU goes Pat Casey, I think Bianco will stay, obviously.
All right, so do you have any upsets in mind for the Super Regionals? Andrew Martin's asking that.
Well, I like it. I mean, I'm on LSU. I'm telling you, plus 375 is a ridiculous price. This is going to be a wild-ass series, man. Some of the other ones, I'm on Notre Dame. It's plus 130 right now against Mississippi State. I know that's not a big upset, but I'm telling you, this Notre Dame team, I mean, I hopped on them 18-1 to even win it all. I mean, I don't know. The reason I'm saying that is because I'm not saying they're going to win it, but if you've looked at Omaha, the Arkansas Vandy side of the bracket looks way harder than the one LSU's on, the one with Tennessee, Texas. I think that side's the more wide open side, and Notre Dame would be in it if they beat State, which is why I liked them. But some other ones, I mean, Texas Tech and Stanford's close to pick them. I like Texas Tech. I think that Lubbock, that's a tough place to win on the road, that Cracker Jack ballpark in West Texas. I'm not giving East Carolina much of a chance against Vandy. I mean, you never know, but they're a huge underdog. Boy, the line on Texas South Florida is insane. I mean, I don't think South Florida can do it, but they're getting 8-1 on winning a two out of three series. You don't see that too often. But I don't necessarily love that one either. I said LSU. Let's see. I'm going through them in my head.
NC State.
Dallas Baptist. Oh, yeah, the NC State one's really interesting because, dude, NC State is on freaking fire right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about a team that started 1-8 in ACC play and finished with the second best regular season in the whole record in the league. I mean, remember LSU started 1-8 and couldn't recover. I mean, a lot of people can't recover from that. And you look at NC State and they go through, get second in the ACC tourney. They destroyed that Ruston Regional. They beat Tech 22-10 in those two matchups. I mean, they're playing with house money, but y'all know how baseball is. You get confidence and momentum together, you never know what could happen. And so, people that took Arkansas to win it all, I've advised to take NC State at 50-1 this week for small, like, insurance futures because let's hypothetically say State does pull it off at Arkansas. I mean, they really could make some noise. So I think Arkansas wins. But, man, I ain't laying those 650 or any of that nonsense in that series. That one concerns me a little bit. And I guess that's most of the Dallas Baptist, Virginia. It's like dead even pick it. I don't have much on that. I do have I took Dallas Baptist 150-1 flyer, and I had them 5-1 to win that Fort Worth Regional. I was on that. So it'd be fun to get them to Omaha and have a 150-1 ticket on them. That's for sure.
Oh, my God. Can you imagine? I mean, drinks on Mintzy if that.
Man, you're just gonna be getting club soda from me these days,
Yeah, that's right. I know. All right, so let's switch gears a little bit, and we'll talk about. I know one of the things y'all were talking about today was football. So LSU football, and the over under that came out was 8.5 over under win total for LSU football this year, and it's one of the things we were talking to Jay Boy about too a couple of weeks ago, but. That seems like an absolute no-brainer, like hammer. Do you agree with that?
No, we actually talked about that. So we've got a new segment on Pick Central every Wednesday. We're doing Win Total Wednesday, and we each pick one over and under. And I've picked over 8.5 LSU today for a whole multitude of reasons. Last year was just like you had the best season ever in 19, and then like you win a national championship, and all this COVID stuff happens. And I know that, like, everybody's, like, laughing and saying, oh, people saying COVID's a cop-out. But, man, that was a weird, weird year. And then also just the Linehan and Bo Pelini coordinator hires were just 2 decades behind. And getting those guys out of there is a huge addition by subtraction. I don't know what's going to happen with Ronte Jones. I mean, I like Mike Zimmer a lot, and so he learned from him. So that makes me happy. When you look at Ricks and Stingley, he's going to be the best corner combo in the nation. I mean, I don't even know what second will be behind it. And I liked, I know there's going to be a quarterback battle, but I mean, what I saw out of Max Johnson, especially Butte, when he had a 300-yard game against Ole Miss, I mean, y'all got some young special talent. And then you look around the SEC West right now, man, this is a huge transition year in the SEC. Auburn's got a new coach at Harsin with Mason, a defensive coordinator. A&M certainly had a great year last year, but they lost an absolute ton off this defense. I am excited to see what Haynes King looks like at quarterback because I thought he was great in high school at Longview. But you look around, Arkansas still rebuilding. I think Mississippi State's still a year or two away, trying to turn that roster over. I know Ole Miss is exciting and could get better, but I mean, I'm not saying they're going to compete for the top of the West. And so I've got LSU going 9-3 or 10-2. When you look at the schedule, that at UCLA is a little tricky to open the year, but you go there and take care of that. You got 3 joke non-conference games other than that. And so you got to go 4-0 non-conference and then 5-3 or better in the SEC. You know, your East game, I mean, you're obviously playing Florida, but they're rebuilding. You got Kentucky this year. I don't know. I feel pretty dang good about it, to be honest.
That UCLA being tricky, what are your thoughts on that game? Because I think here, just in our bubble here in Baton Rouge, that just looks like a game that we can just completely.
No, I feel like you will. No, I think just it looks tricky just because it's a road, game on the road against a Power 5 opponent to start the year. But no, I think LSU's should be much more athletic and better. And then, especially being the first game of the year, they should be prepared and healthy. So, I mean, I'm going to like LSU in it. And, I just think LSU, everybody always, y'all are a huge part of it, the soap opera of covering LSU in Baton Rouge. I mean, the highs and lows are insane. And I think the demise of the LSU football program is being more than greatly exaggerated from where I'm looking at it right now.
Absolutely. And some people will say that we actually are part of the soap opera coverage here.
But I mean, that's part of what makes Following LSU so great, though. I mean, it's just you never know what's going to happen on a day-to-day basis.
Absolutely.
It never ends.
That's what we said before you came on. Yesterday was National Kevin O'Sullivan Day, and then today is National Pat Casey Day. So I don't know what tomorrow will bring. I never know who we're going to be talking about tomorrow. Another question: what home game are you and the Barstool fellas going to host a tailgate in Baton Rouge next year?
Man, we're still working on that. Apparently that happens in July. I'm doing everything in my power to get the LSU Ole Miss game in Oxford on October 23rd. I'm going to bat for that one huge because we can do the college football show on campus. And, I think because Lane Kiffin's been on part of my tag, we can get him. I mean, that's the one I've got superstarred that I'm more worried about than getting to Baton Rouge for. But it would be a lot of fun to mesh LSU and Ole Miss on that. I mean, I think it could be a big reunion in Oxford. When I looked at the LSU schedule this year, I thought the Auburn game, which is October the 2nd, I thought that one looked very, like going to Baton Rouge. I know Florida was October 16th. A&M is the Thanksgiving Saturday, I believe, this year, from what I saw. So I don't know. I think Auburn would be the one in Baton Rouge, but to be honest, I'm going to bat for the LSU game in Oxford really, really hard. I think that would be kind of like a culmination for me of like all my relationships in life. It'd be a lot of fun.
That's awesome, dude. I'm pulling for you. Every time we see you on, I remember you were sitting right over there. You were right there.
Yeah.
So
that big round table.
Yeah, and I could touch you and everything. So we looking for him from afar. I know you're friends with Jordy, and we are too. Everything that you guys have gone through, and every time the Phoenix Suns win, I think of Playboy Marty. So.
Yeah, he's going nuts, man. I mean, with my old New Orleans Hornets ties, I mean, I'm pulling for Paul to get one. I'd love to see it. Him and Monty Williams.
I know, and I know he was. I think it was the other night. I think the Suns beat the Lakers and LSU won in the regional same night.
Yeah, the Suns beat the Nuggets. No, yeah, the dead LSU regional Monday night, man. That was. I don't know. It's just so fascinating. I've watched my whole life watching LSU, man. LSU pulls out more wild, crazy, close games, man. It's just, it's in all sports, really in football and baseball. But, I mean, they just pull out these games that you just can't, it's insane. Like, Ole Miss always loses those kind of games, too. I think it's like a mental thing or something. Like, you're an LSU fan. You don't know how you're going to do it, but you're just going to somehow win, It's great to have that belief.
It is. We've had it since, 91. So we appreciate it, Ben. We want to get you back on maybe before Omaha too.
Yeah, for sure. Well, hopefully if LSU makes it, are y'all trying to go?
I'm not sure yet. If we didn't even think that was a possibility up until a couple of weeks ago. So
I mean, I would love, man, having LSU out there for the LSU, man. I mean, in Omaha, it's a thing. I mean, the Omaha, they love when LSU goes. That's like their favorite, man. And I would love for Barstool content to be able to go around and just see that atmosphere. I'm pulling. I mean, other than Ole Miss, obviously, I'm pulling so hard for LSU this weekend. I would just love to see it.
Well, Fred's is one of our sponsors here, and I know that's a big.
They're a big part.
Dave and Big Cat love those guys over at Fred's, and so hopefully maybe they can do something for us and send us up there. We'll ask them. I'm all about asking people things. So
Well, hey man, when it comes to Omaha, you got to do what you got to do.
exactly. So and I need 2 weeks off, I guess. So, but we appreciate it, buddy. We'll check back in with you soon.
All right. Well, thank y'all for having me on, and definitely want to come on before football season.
And we're going to keep apologizing to Big T, and if he doesn't respond to me, I'm just going to give him hell this whole
He said something today like he'd be open to coming on after they kick the shit out of y'all.
Perfect. That's
We're all in.
perfect.
We're all in. For that.
All right, buddy. We appreciate it,
All
man.
right, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Mintzy.
All right, guys. That was Ben Mintz, Barstool Mintzy. All right, I want to get to a couple of sponsors. I know Jude has these for us. Ether Insurance. That whole thing was really sponsored by Ether. Go on etherins.com, and you can put any quote you like on Ether. That's home, auto, business, and life. They do it all at Ether Insurance. Adam and Murata will take care of you. Also, we got Bear Process Safety, the big orange bear. I need to call him about playing golf too. I feel like all these guys are calling me to play golf, and I'm never available, or the weather's bad.
Just let me know. I'll go play golf.
I'm going Friday, I think. Not with any of these guys, but Sam with Sam, one of our partners.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm gonna go play golf possibly Friday. I'm not sure yet. But check out Bear Process Safety Company. Very innovative in Baton Rouge. They do a lot of stuff for the plant and industrial areas. They'll put a whole package together for your team, and they can do it all remotely as well. So check out Bear Process Safety. Bogies in Baton Rouge, a staple in Baton Rouge. Go check out Bogies. They have drink specials almost every night. And they're also, I'm sure they were doing crawfish for the summer, but I know they're having a huge blowout for the LSU game as well. So check out Bogies. And we'll move on. Let's go to Bocock Brothers. I know we weren't planning on doing that, Jude, but Bocock Brothers. Hey, they gave us a whole bunch of cigars. Let's see if I can get it on screen. I got 2 boxes of these for vacation. One was their medium blend, and then the one that I have right here is their Connecticut blend. And then Bryant Bocock in Houston told me he was going to ship us over some Maduros, and he's going to get some more gear for us. We had some shirts we were rocking for the vacation, and then I'll absolutely love the medium blends. The Connecticut ones are great with coffee and things like that, maybe in the afternoon. But the medium blends are perfect for me. And I've been smoking cigars too much. We went through a whole box of cigars for vacation.
In less than the week.
Oh my God. It was,
You had to go buy a couple more cigars for the last.
I had to go,
days.
yeah, just to have something left.
Right.
All right, so last we'll get to Mr. Fun's Travel. Call Jason Ramazan at Mr. Fun's Travel. They're putting together trips for that UCLA game. They have all-inclusive trips that are with the hotel included. They also have like a tailgate included. Everything is in one package, including your ticket. So call Mr. Fun's Travel. He'll get you set up for that UCLA game. And then last but not least, we have Courtesy, Buick GMC, Courtesy Automotive Group, Brandon Lejean in Lafayette. He will deliver cars to you guys. So follow Brandon on Facebook. He's got deals all the time. And call him 337-224-1867, and he will get a deal for you. And tell him that you love Will Wade. He'll knock something off if you tell him something positive about Will Wade. He was a big basketball fanatic. All right, so with that, let's get to kind of recap what we were talking about earlier, and then also with Ben Mintz. I absolutely
Is there anything in the chat?
Yeah, let's check the chat. Jude will post some stuff up for us. But all right, thoughts on Ben Mintz talking about Pat Casey? Because I think it's refreshing to talk to somebody outside of Baton Rouge and outside of our bubble.
Yeah, so he pretty much said what I was going to say today, which is just that I think Pat Casey is actually a really good coach, which isn't – it doesn't feel like that's crazy to say. He's won 3 championships in the last 15 years. His last season that he coached was a championship season. The year before that was a 6-loss season. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else you would want in a coaching search.
Yeah, I think that what he's saying is correct. He's a great coach. I think whatever everybody outside of the other outside stuff with Luke Heimlich or whatever you want to call him, outside of that, I think it's at the age. The age of 62 years old. How long until you're going to have to get another replacement again?
Yeah.
Could you hire somebody now that is capable and is going to be here for the long haul? And I think that's why everybody was looking at, well, there's Tony Vitello. And nobody knows if Tony Vitello would take the job, especially with the money that they're about to put towards him. But I think that's the problem, is that you got a guy that looks so attractive over there, and then hiring a guy like Pat Casey is just kind of a somebody said it on Twitter, a boner kill is what the exact phrase they used. But yeah, I agree. I think he's a great coach. Winning there, obviously that's great.
Well, no, he is a great coach. It's not even.
Well, he was. He's not a coach anymore.
Right.
He's been retired for 3 years. That's another problem.
But I think, if he were to come here, that would tell me that the only reason he left Oregon State was because he wanted to get out of Oregon State.
He has been in Oregon all of his life.
Right.
He's a lifer in Oregon.
Just tells me something was maybe a little sticky over there, and
either sticky or he was literally burnt out, and he's like basically pulling an Urban Meyer where now he's got the energy back and he misses it.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Ari Garrett in the chat, he has a great resume, but I think it's a bad hire due to the Title IX stuff that's going on. So he's referring to the Luke Heimlich stuff going back to whenever he was pitching for Oregon State. And I think that his last year was 2017.
I don't know. That was a weird situation.
It was weird because it didn't come to fruition. If I remember right.
It was like very end of the season.
Yeah, people didn't know about it until
Right.
it was already almost over.
Right.
But I think if I remember right, also Pat Casey knew about it, but it just wasn't public knowledge.
Right.
It was something that was very strange. And I don't really care about getting into all that.
Yeah, me neither.
Just looking at it, other than that, yeah, he's a great coach. He's just old.
Right.
If you could hire somebody that was also, I think that was why O'Sullivan was attractive.
Right.
Was because he's obviously a great recruiter, has a national championship under his belt, and wanted to come here. Like I saw Kendall Rogers tweet today, and I actually love Kendall Rogers. Don't get me wrong; I'd love to get him on the show too. But I saw his tweet earlier today saying that all these rumors about LSU putting it what did they say? Pulling the plug on O'Sullivan. Right. Is that the way he said it?
Something like that.
That's false. Just false.
Yeah.
Like LSU pulled the plug on O'Sullivan. Woody wanted O'Sullivan. LSU pulled the plug on it because they were like, nah, that didn't look great.
Well, did you see someone also asked him and said, so Sully said no to LSU, and then he responded to that and said no.
Yeah.
So it's like, so LSU did pull the plug.
Yeah, LSU wanted O'Sullivan.
Unless he's saying that there was no interest from either side,
which isn't true.
Which is definitely wrong.
It's definitely not true.
That couldn't be further from the truth.
Anyway, moving on. So obviously he's out. So pressure is different in Baton Rouge than in Oregon is one of my concerns. I agree with that. But I do know that Oregon State was able to recruit at a very high level. Yes. And I don't know, not necessarily recruit at a high level, but also develop these players. If you remember Adley Rauschman, I think it was his last name, was the catcher. It was
I do remember that catcher.
2018.
Yeah.
They won the national championship. And in 2017 when we beat them, dude, he was absolutely.
I remember
he was
I do remember the catcher.
I think he hit like 420 his senior year or something, or junior year. But he was like one of the. I don't know if he was the number one pick of the draft or what, but
he was at least top 5.
Yeah, they had a lot, and they had a great pitching staff. Nick Madrigal, yeah, I remember that. Remember that name? I think he was the leadoff hitter, if I remember right.
He's in the big leagues, I believe.
Is he?
I think so.
Well, Adley, whatever his last name is probably in the big leagues or close to it. Also, huge talent, but also
I remember that guy.
I feel like there was some development that, you know how LSU we've talked about, like, you know, one of the things I felt like was missing this year was that you didn't have those JUCO guys to kind of fill in the gaps between the freshmen and the juniors. And there was no Cade Civic that just came in and like filled a gap this year.
It's all freshmen.
it's all freshmen that are very talented, or you have juniors and seniors that have been here for a while and they just haven't developed.
They're just
They
not
haven't
great.
developed,
Right.
and they've been the same throughout the whole
Below
time. And
right.
without those JUCO guys, you don't have anybody. Well, this is a guy I think that can come in and take those freshmen and develop them all the way through their junior year and keep bringing more guys in. I think that's part of it. I don't know. I'm kind of spitballing with that one because I'm trying to make Casey feel better for myself in my taste buds.
Right.
Would LSU fans embrace Casey's small ball style?
That's exactly what I was about to ask.
I don't think so, brother.
I know someone who I know wouldn't like
so.
that is David Anderson.
David Anderson will not like that. Dad will not like the small.
He wouldn't
ball
shut
style.
up this weekend about how he hates West
He
Coast
hates
baseball.
UCLA.
Oh,
it just came out of
right.
It came out of nowhere. We're watching a UCLA game at the beach, and he was like, "I freaking hate UCLA." I'm like, "What?
We were talking
Who
about
hates UCLA?"
We were talking about their uniforms, and he was like,
"I can't stand.
I hate UCLA."
Yeah, he's angry. Garrett, I don't think so. Our fan base loves the home run. I agree with that. And I don't know if maybe he's a guy that can
like home runs,
can adapt his style a little bit too, with the talent that he'll have coming in. I think that's a sign of a good coach, but I have
it's
no
like
idea.
He's been in Oregon his whole life.
Yeah.
So it's.
I'll say
kind of
this
all
about
he
Pat
knows,
Casey because
right?
the Pat Casey news came out today, and then before Kendall Rogers posted what he posted, of course people were texting me about what's going on with this Pat Casey thing. Well, I had also gotten a DM from a former LSU baseball player who told me that he thinks that the Pat Casey situation is more on a advisory role and not necessarily the coaching role. But then when Kendall Rogers posted that, then I know that's what's happening. So I don't really know for sure what's happening there, but J-Boy's been all over the Pat Casey stuff for the last 3 days. He's been posting stuff about, well, there's a guy that's waiting to hear. So apparently this past weekend, Casey a lot of people thought it was Dan McDonald was in town. That wasn't true. It was Pat Casey was in town. Pat Casey already met with Scott Woodward. That was this past weekend. And Scott Woodward loves him. Obviously the age is an issue. I just felt like it would get to the point where, again, like Scott Woodward floats the name up to the guys that sign the contracts, and it was going to say, "Hey, bro, I think we need to look for somebody that maybe is in their 40s or 50s,
right?
Not 62." I felt like that was what was going to happen, but I have no idea. All right, so what else?
So you're Cliff Godwin over Pat Casey guy?
I think so.
I think I agree.
It's more about the longevity,
right?
I mean,
Mintzy's
very convincing though.
How long does he stay? Like 8 years?
Casey?
Yeah,
maybe 62.
Right. So like till he's 70?
Yeah, maybe 5 to 8 years, something like that. 5 to 10 tops.
That's not enough time.
I don't think so either.
Right.
Where if you hired a guy like Godwin and it was the right hire, obviously he could be 15, 20 years here in Baton Rouge.
What is Bianco like? Plan C, or maybe lower?
I didn't think Bianco would come.
You don't think he would come?
No,
I disagree with you there.
You do?
I think he would come.
If you think he would come, then you need to call him and you need to get him to come.
You think so?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
And hopefully somebody texts me that today too. Maybe this whole Casey thing is a smoke screen, and I'm hoping that's the case, but I haven't gotten anything else other than I knew what was happening with the O'Sullivan stuff, but after that, it's kind of like I don't really know what's happening. So, but that O'Sullivan stuff was something else, bro.
We're still getting
I know
left and right on
yeah.
that.
So I felt like yesterday when I tweeted about you tweeted it because I heard about it and I called you.
Right.
You sent it out. I felt like when you sent it out, we immediately pissed off LSU and Florida fan bases simultaneously.
Right.
We're still getting stuff from Florida fans, but we had some LSU super fans that were very upset with us too, saying that we're a bunch of liars. But whatever. We're not really worried about all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't care.
All right. What else did Mintzy say? We were talking about football, and he said hammer that over, and I agree with him.
Yeah.
Hammer the 8.5.
He didn't even mention Miles Brennan.
No, he didn't. He's all big Max Johnson guy. You hear
Sheesh.
that, Jude? Jude's looking
Oh,
back over there.
man.
Jude's the only Miles Brennan guy in
Good
town. I swear to
Lord.
God.
Bye-bye 15.
Yep, 15. We're gonna buy you a 15
Sayonara.
jersey, Jude.
And we're gonna get it. We're gonna get the name printed on the back, and it's gonna be transfer portal.
Transfer portal. He's saying till the wheels fall off, Jude. All right. So what else we got? Anything else happening? I mean, LSU, Tennessee. That to me, that's like the biggest thing happening right now for us. Like, we need to go check out. We're gonna go to Fred's on Saturday. I want to go to Fred's on Saturday.
Let's do it.
We'll get William to go. Maybe y'all can bring the camera.
Sure.
You can do some videos. We'll get some shirts over there. But I want to just like make a peek in at least.
Yeah.
I'm
in.
very old to go into Fred's, but y'all are right at that age. But we can go into Fred's on Saturday, 6 o'clock. They'll be giving away our Fred's.
What time's the game?
It's at 6.
It's at 6.
So I don't know what time they're going to be doing the giveaway. I'll find out from
we'll figure that out. Right.
I'll find out from Jason, and I'll send out some info. But all right, so this is Carlton in the chat replying to Garrett. I haven't liked our chances since February, but since we're here, let's ride with them. Sweet 16 time. That's right. Like you finally got to the point where we're in the supers. It's 2 out of 3. Like. Could you ever imagine we would have been? I was no way I would have.
Right. No, I know. Like you say, I was thinking earlier today. If you said to me at the beginning of the season, "Oh, LSU's going to make a super regional this year," I'd have been like, "Oh, great! Well, it must be a pretty good year."
Exactly. And you wouldn't have thought all the roller coaster that has happened
And
this
then
year.
they follow up with, "And Palmineri is going to retire." I'm
Yeah.
like, what?
Well, what? Excuse me. So yeah, we'll make that trip for Fred Saturday. Again, 6 o'clock's the regional start. Go to Fred's. They'll got the shirts they're going to be giving out at Fred's. Basketball. Anything NBA happening? What's happening in the NBA right now? LeBron,
dude,
LaFlop is gone.
It's great. It's great for the league. It's great for the league.
Absolutely,
that LeBron's
it is.
out.
I hate that guy.
Yeah.
The Suns. Speaking of Playboy Marty,
you couldn't
the
be
Suns
more
are
unlikable than LeBron. But yeah, no, the Suns. They're up 1-0 right now on the Nuggets.
Okay.
And I think they're going to win that series pretty easily.
And this is the
Nuggets don't have
Western semifinals.
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
so who's on the other side?
It's Jazz Clippers, which
Okay.
I think is also a really good series.
It is a very good
and
series.
then in the East, you have Nets Bucks. Nets are up 2-0 right now.
Nets are looking really good.
I
Even
think the
though they
Nets
don't
are
have
gonna-
Harden, they're still looking really good.
Yeah, they're
right?
still beating the crap out of everybody.
Yeah.
And I think those are the two best teams in the East for me.
Uh-huh. What was the other side of the East?
And then it's also Sixers and who are the Sixers playing? Well, the Sixers are the 1 seed over there.
Yeah, but but whenever the Nets turn it on, there's no way.
I completely agree with you. I think
Different level.
that I was telling William the other day. I think this Nets team is maybe the most loaded NBA team I've ever seen.
Possibly. You know, on the West side, what's the Jazz Clippers? What's the? They've already played a game, or
They have played a game. I think
1-0 Clippers.
The Jazz won it.
Really? Okay.
Jazz are the 1 seed.
So the Clippers are a team that I was thinking of as like, all right, they're gonna like slow play it, kind of like the Lakers.
Well, the Jazz the Clippers are doing the same thing they did last year.
And they'll just turn it on.
Except this year they don't even have Doc Rivers. They have Ty Lue.
Right.
Which I don't even get me started on that. But yeah, I mean I thought they were going to lose that series against Dallas last week, and then Kawhi just went crazy in those last couple games. I think he had like 50 in Game 7.
All right.
This
Sorry, folks, we're working on it. What was that about?
Working on what?
I don't know. Not sure.
What are we working on, Jude?
Yeah, tell us what we're working on, buddy. I think he's texting you right now, Jack. So
Screen is black. That's not good.
Screen is black. Can you hear us?
Oh boy. Should we just
Jeez.
cut it?
All right, so let's cut it out short.
Yep.
We will talk to you guys next week. It is it's been an hour, so we're
Sure.
a good time anyway. But
Shout out to if you can still hear us on the audio.
yeah,
shout out
the audio's gonna work for sure. So,
Okay.
oh, you're talking about if they're still on the chat? Yeah. So they're
Right.
still there, but
Yeah, shout out to One Team Media.
One Team Media for sure. We have a
y'all
lot
make
of
sure to
different
follow
podcasts.
that account on there on
Yeah,
Twitter.
and
Follow One Team One Podcast too if you're somehow listening to this and not following already. Because we're about to hit 3,000 followers. I don't know if
at
you saw
One
that.
Team One Pod. That's right.
Yeah.
And go check out our YouTube page as well. We're starting to do a lot more stuff with that YouTube page, and I'm getting a new website done pretty soon here as well for One Team Media. But go to the YouTube for One Team One Podcast, and you're going to see we have 8 shows currently. So we have Bogies and Bourbon that'll be tomorrow night too. It's our golf podcast. We'll do that tomorrow night. Yeah. I haven't really checked in with Justin, but there's a lot to talk about.
Sure.
So we hadn't done that for about a week. So
we gotta talk about John Rahm.
Yeah, absolutely. What a screw job!
Jesus.
Oh my God. What was that?
6-shot lead.
1.8 million is what John Peterson told us.
What?
Lost 1.8 million on that.
That's insane.
And he still would have won if they would have just kept his score.
Right. Yeah, but you can't do that.
I know. But he would have won if he would have just stopped it right there. I feel like the guy needed to get a cut of the pay.
They should have
terrible.
I don't know.
Or some kind of insurance policy.
You know what's crazy is if they would have gave him like a 90 on his last round, like bogey a hole,
right?
He still would have had like I think he would have still been even par.
Yep. Okay, so we'll wrap it up here. One Team, One Podcast. We appreciate everybody joining us tonight. We appreciate Ben Mintz. That was awesome for him. To join us, and the last time he was here, he was actually literally right here. So now he's in New York doing big things at Barstool. And we appreciate everybody for checking in with us.
Speaking
and
of
everybody
Barstool,
in the chat,
they're in fourth play guys are in Lake Charles right now.
Really?
Yeah.
What course?
It's
by the Nugget.
It was Gold Nugget. It's what's it called? Contraband Bayou.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. I didn't know that, so I'll check that out.
I didn't even know the Barstool Classic was coming at Louisiana. I was pissed when I saw that.
I know.
I would have signed up.
You would have gone. Yeah.
It's like $800 a team. So.
All right, going to play golf Friday. I have the itch. I need to go.
Me and Papa are playing in the Greystone.
When is that?
Father-son thing. Not this weekend, but next.
Okay.
On Saturday.
All right. Well, good luck to you guys. And
rock our one podcast gear.
Do that for sure. And everybody come check us out at Fred's. We'll be there on Saturday, and let us know if y'all are coming. Just check us out on Twitter.
Yeah.
And we will talk to you guys soon. It's been One Team, One Podcast.
Logging out.
We showed you what the GOAT was last year when we beat y'all 50-7.
Let's go! One team!
One team, one podcast.
Relax,
One team,
big
one
boy.
podcast. One team, one podcast. One team, one podcast.
Team One Podcast?
One Team, One Podcast.
Yeah, they did a good job.
Really good job. Yeah.
Why is he so fat?
One team, one podcast. One team, one podcast. One team, one podcast.
Fat.
One team!